Hi guys, this is Wrestling Retrospective. I'm Leo, and in this video I'll be doing my predictions for AEW Revolution. First up we have the Blackpool Combat Club members John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli taking on FTR. For me, I have the Blackpool Combat Club to get the win here. Though it's like one of the more harder matches to predict, as really both teams could get the win. They've already had one match that ended in a draw. For me, I feel like this is going to be the one of three matches with Blackpool Combat Club getting the win here, FTR getting the win in a return match, and then them maybe having a rubber match at Double or Nothing, maybe in an Iron Man tag team match, just because the main part of the Blackpool Combat Club's promos towards FTR has been about endurance, and while there's no match that tests a wrestler's endurance more than an Iron Man match, so though I don't enjoy Iron Man matches that much, this is the way I see it going, and have done probably since the start. But yeah, for me, I feel like the Blackpool Combat Club as heels will get the first win, FTR will get their win back, and then they'll have a rubber match, as I say, maybe at Double or Nothing, or maybe on a Dynamite, I'm not sure. But yeah, for me, as I said, it's one of the tougher ones. I think either team could win, but for me, I'm going to go with the Blackpool Combat Club. Following that, we have Toni Storm defending the Women's World Championship against Deonna Purrazzo. This has actually been one of the more entertaining and worth investing in feuds going into the pay-per-view, one of very, very few. But for me, I 100% have Toni Storm to retain the championship here. I don't feel like she's losing the title anytime soon. If anything, she's going to have it till at least All In, where I'm hoping and praying. I'm praying like Drew McIntyre prayed CM Punk to be injured, that Jamie Hayter comes back before All In and takes the title from her, because it was Jamie Hayter who lost the title to Storm in the first place, but it was a different version of Storm, so Storm won't remember, and it'll just be a great overall feud to have going into All In, and one I very much want to see live as I'm going to All In again this year. But yeah, for me, I feel like it's going to be a real technical classic. Probably one of the better women's matches we've had in a long time on pay-per-view. And yeah, it's something, I don't know, just as I said, it's been one of the better feuds on AEW right now. And both are technically sound, can go for a while. I'm hoping this gets given a fair bit of time. And yeah, they just kind of steal the show almost and show what women's wrestling really can be in AEW, because it has been let down a bit recently, as in past few years, just in general by shit booking. But yeah, for me, Toni Storm to continue to be one of the greatest women's world champions of all time. Following that, we have the All-Star Scramble match to determine the new number one contender for the AEW World Championship. In this match, we have Dante Martin, Magnus, Hook, Brian Cage, Lance Archer, Powerhouse Hobbs, Chris Jericho, and Wardlow. When it's a scramble, I'm not sure what that means, because when I think of a scramble match, I think people coming in every so often, so I don't know whether they're going to do that or whether it's just one big normal match. But for me, I have Wardlow to get the win here. I feel like he makes the number one most sense. Obviously, this was supposed to be the Meat Madness match, so obviously they're supposed to get some big boys in this match, which obviously started with Wardlow, Lance Archer, and Powerhouse Hobbs. I suspect they were maybe supposed to get Keith Lee. Brian Cage was also supposed to be part of the match, and maybe a couple more big men, but unfortunately, as he said, injuries got in the way of all that. So yeah, it's a match I'm interested in seeing in the future, as he feels like, who's he? Tony Khan said that he was putting it on ice, so I'm looking forward, just out of curiosity, to see what this match was actually going to be. But yeah, for me, makes the number one most sense that Wardlow gets the win here. Obviously, again, similar to Roderick Strong, the plan of the Undisputed Kingdom is for Wardlow to become the world champion, for him to surrender the world title to Adam Cole when he is cleared to wrestle, which I could not disagree with more. But yeah, just to follow that plan and story, it seems like Wardlow's going to get the win here, plus the really good promo he did on Dynamite a few weeks ago about beating CM Punk and MJF. It just makes the most sense for Wardlow to get the win here, though I feel like it would be pulling the trigger on Wardlow's world title match too quickly, as we don't know how far along Adam Cole is to being cleared. You would have thought that, like, almost the same night type thing, where Wardlow win the world title to massive fanfare, and then Adam Cole would turn out to be medically cleared and he'll take the world title from him. Maybe that's going to happen. Maybe Adam Cole is cleared and we just don't know, but I feel like there'd be more reports about it if Adam Cole was clear. But yeah, as I said, for me, Wardlow's to get the win here and to become the new #1 contender for the World Championship. Following that, we have Christian Cage defending the TNT Championship against Daniel Garcia. For me, I have Christian Cage to retain here. I feel like the original plan was supposed to be Adam Copeland getting the match here, and I feel like they're not going to have Christian lose the title until he loses it to Adam Copeland, unfortunately. For me, Christian Cage has been one of the better things on AEW television, though it does feel like he's not been on, or at least cutting promos as often as he was a few months ago, which is a shame because, as I said, he's probably one of the better things about AEW right now. But yeah, for me, though Daniel Garcia is definitely a future champion, I can see Christian kind of shithousing his way into a very, very close call of losing his title, but then he will retain in the end. Again, I think it'll be one of the better matches, having the younger guy versus the veteran. I think is like never a bad thing. So yeah, it's going to be an enjoyable match, but for me, kind of going with head and heart, I have Christian to retain the TNT Championship here. Next up, we have Orange Cassidy defending the International Championship against Roderick Strong. And for me, I feel like Roderick Strong is going to get the win here and become the new International Champion. I feel like the Kingdom, well, the Undisputed Kingdom, but the Kingdom themselves, so Matt Taven and Mike Bennett will probably play a part in it. Adam Cole may also play a part in kind of getting Roderick Strong the win as well. I don't think it'll be revealed that he's not injured or anything like that, but I think he'll play some kind of part in the distraction or whatever that will cost Orange Cassidy the match. I think Orange Cassidy has done more than enough to prove how much of a good champion he is, but I also feel like it's time for him to move up the card a bit more, maybe look towards the TNT Championship or even the World Championship. Not that I think he would win the World Championship anytime soon, but maybe the TNT Championship definitely. But yeah, it also makes a lot of sense with the story of the Kingdom, or the Undisputed Kingdom, sorry. With them getting their first championship here at Revolution, and maybe then Wardlow going on to get the world title later on, and then obviously Mike Taven and Mike Bennett are the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, so it kind of fits the narrative of what they are going for. And yeah, I feel like this starts with Roderick Strong winning the International Championship at Revolution, so I feel like it's going to be a really good match. Like, we know Cassidy can go, and it's pretty difficult for Cassidy to put on a bad match with anyone, really, though I feel like there has been probably a couple. And though I don't highly rate Roderick Strong, I know how good he can be in the ring from when he was in NXT. So hopefully he'll embrace that kind of side more. And yes, it's a match I'm not overly interested in just because I'm not that big a fan of Roderick Strong, but I feel like it could be a match that could steal the show in my opinion. But yeah, for me, Roderick Strong to become the new International Champion. Following that, we have Will Ospreay making his official as AEW, as All Elite, etc. debut against Konosuke Takeshita. Yeah, for me, I'm in the agreement with everybody else. This is a steal the show match written all over it. Obviously, Will Ospreay is someone I'm a big fan of. Takeshita is also very, very good, and I'm a fan of his as well. So this has all the right ingredients to be an absolute classic. And yeah, match of the year potential all over it. And yeah, just match I'm very much looking forward to. Do I expect some Don Callis interference? Maybe a little bit on Takeshita's side. Reports have come out that Will Ospreay will be a babyface going forward, therefore having him associated with Don Callis makes absolutely zero sense. A lot of people have said that maybe Takeshita's getting the win just because Callis will cost Ospreay. I can't see that being the case. I feel like they're going to want to build Ospreay towards a world title match at All In. Therefore, he needs wins to get up those rankings, if we're still doing rankings, or whether the current ones are just one-off. But either way, to get Ospreay to a world title match at All In August, he needs victories. Therefore, yeah, for me, Will Ospreay gets the win here and starts off his All Elite era of his career with a victory at Revolution. Following that, we have Eddie Kingston defending the Continental Crown against Bryan Danielson. For me, I have Eddie Kingston to get the win here in another match that could steal the show, though I've got a pretty good idea on what the match of the night's going to be. But yeah, for me, I don't like this stipulation that Eddie Kingston does where it's like, oh, if I win, you must shake my hand. You know, it was only 2 years ago he did this shit with Jericho, and Jericho just didn't shake his hand. And yeah, we got that crap, or what I remember being pretty crap, unsanctioned match at the Short Week Dynamite. Like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it wasn't great. Will Danielson shake Eddie Kingston's hand after a loss? I don't know. I don't think it matters that much, really. I feel like Danielson might have a bit more to him than Jericho, and he might shake his hand. I don't think it's going to mean anything much. I think it's just a way to get kind of Eddie Kingston to have beaten all three members of... the three main members of the Blackpool Combat Club in Claudio, Moxley and Danielson all on big shows. With obviously him beating Claudio at Grand Slam, Moxley at World's End, and Danielson here. I don't think a win over Wheeler Yuta is that much of a big deal. Where is Wheeler Yuta, by the way? Anyone seen Wheeler Yuta recently? I haven't. But yeah, no, for me, Eddie Kingston's I think it's going to be a very good match. Kingston's going to get the win and continue to be the Continental Crown champions. But who he losing to, I'm not sure. As of now, I feel like he's going to go on a bit of a run with all three titles. But yeah, it's a run that's been very much enjoyable. I'm glad Kingston's finally got championships. And yeah, like, this is going to be another great match for Danielson in his final year, in my opinion. And it's just, again, a way to kind of get Danielson on the show, get Kingston on the show, and put Kingston over more, finally. So yeah, for me, Eddie Kingston to continue to retain the Continental Crown in this one. Next up, we have Samoa Joe defending the AEW World Championship against Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. This has been really lackluster in my opinion. Like, this has been way more about Swerve and Hangman than it has been about Joe. Like, the fact that the third wheel in this match is Samoa Joe as world champion, I think is ridiculous, and it should be way more on him. And it's why he's going to win this match, because Swerve and Hangman are going to cost themselves the match by concentrating on each other too much. And Samoa Joe is way too much of an opportunist to let this, to let his title go in such a stupid manner. So for me, I've got Samoa Joe to steal the win from either one of those two, continuing a feud on a one-on-one basis instead of anything. But I'm not, I assume then Double or Nothing he will win. He will win. Nice one. He will face Wardlow, who will win the Scramble match. Oh no, unless he faces them at Big Business. Either way, I'm not sure. But Samoa Joe is definitely retaining here, and I assume will definitely have a match at Big Business. With it being such a, or hailed to be such a big show, because Mercedes Moné is going to debut. And, you know, if you think any different, and if she doesn't debut, it's like the biggest swerve, I think. But yeah, for me, Samoa Joe gets the win by stealing it, being an opportunist, and Hangman and Swerve are stupid and cost themselves the match. But as for a world title match, it's really been quite lackluster of a feud. But yeah, I mean, at the minute, AEW as a whole has been pretty lackluster. But yeah, I expected a lot more to come when this match was announced, and unfortunately, it just hasn't lived up hype-wise. But then I don't know, AEW are good at delivering when there hasn't been much hype. So, but either way, yeah, Samoa Joe to become the world champion, to retain the world championship here. And finally, what I assume will be the main event, we have the Young Bucks of Nicholas and Matthew Jackson taking on Sting and Darby Allin for the Tag Team Championships. For me, it makes more sense rather than not for the Young Bucks to win this match. Not only because I feel like as Tag Team Champions and like the current gimmick they've got as EVPs, it kind of fits quite well as a heel gimmick, them having some championships. So, but also the fact that because it's Sting's last match, I expect Sting to take the pin here, though I probably would have had them face a younger, more upcoming tag team to put over. I suppose the Young Bucks is fine. Like, I don't know. why they choose the Young Bucks of all people. I probably would have had Sting have a one-on-one match, but I understand also why they would have him have a tag team match because of his age and all that. But yeah, for me, I feel like Ric Flair might play some kind of part in the Young Bucks getting the win, and that all the stuff on Dynamite was more of a ruse. But yeah, for me, I've got the Young Bucks to win the new tag champions, and Sting will kind of take the more traditional route out of the wrestling business in taking the pin in his final match. So those are my predictions for Revolution 2024. Do put down in the comments who you think is going to win, what you think match of the night's going to be. Is there going to be any other moments? Maybe an Okada showing up, maybe somebody else showing up, I'm not sure. But yeah, just any moments, like anything you think is going to happen on the show. For me, this has been the most uninterested in a pay-per-view I've been in for AEW in a long time. AEW has massively dropped off, just storyline-wise, feuds-wise, just overall, I've just not been that interested by AEW, unfortunately, and I feel like I am in a bigger group of people who feel that way, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, hopefully it's going to be a case of like very low hype, but a very, very good pay-per-view. Obviously, the matches on paper are very, very good, in my opinion. And there is a lot of potential for a fair few of the matches to steal the show. So hopefully that is the case, and AEW can prove what they're really all about, which is the wrestling, and kind of revigorate the fans and kind of make kind of more interesting feuds. Just television in general more interesting going into what is supposed to be their biggest show of the year, which is Double or Nothing in May. Obviously, statistically, their biggest show is All In August, but you know, as far as like their show, it's Double or Nothing in May. So hopefully we get a big build towards that, and then we can kind of go from there and concentrate more on All In, which will have a lot better build to it than it did last year. But I don't know. Either way, I'm looking forward to it from a on-paper standpoint. But if this pay-per-view goes down like AWTV goes down, then I'm not very confident. But I want my mind to be changed on AEW at the minute, and I really want to get reinvested in AEW before All In, because I would feel horrible going all the way down to London and not being that interested in the pay-per-view, but hopefully that won't be the case. Genuinely hope AEW pick it up. But anyway, rant against AEW over. But I will ask you to like and share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow the Instagram account, follow me on Twitter if you want. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. See you later.